say that it feels right.
Hey guys, welcome back for another Clash Royale video. So in today's video we will be taking a look at this brand new Xbow deck. I believe the original creator was Sfix. He had Ice Golem instead of Knight, but yeah, a lot of players think that Knight is a better sub for Ice Golem, and now we're having this deck. So this is the bomber variation of the Xbow Rocket cycle. And today we have Ramn on the channel, and he shared how he got to top 11th in the world with this deck. So yeah, without further ado, don't forget to subscribe and like this video so you don't miss out any future videos, and don't forget to follow Ramn as well. He has a Twitter, link will be in the description, and yeah, let's just jump right into our first replay. Okay, we're starting off our video with everyone's favorite deck, which is Goblin Drill Cycle, and both players played Fire Spirits at the bridge. Okay, and one good thing about Ram's decks is he has Bomber instead of maybe Archer or Fire Spirits. I mean the Ice Wizard, so it's actually better against the Goblin Drill. And now it looks like the Xbow won't lock onto the tower, but the Fire Spirit could change everything, and yeah, the Xbow is gonna get a huge lock on the tower. Okay, so yeah, he has a big lead already. I think Xbow usually has matchup against Goblin Drill Cycle, but you have to play this like perfectly. Okay, and the opponent just decides to wait for the Xbow to lock on and then go in with Bomber and opposite lane with Goblin Drill. But that's what I was saying, Bomber and Skeletons will clean up very nicely the Goblin Drill and the Goblins. So yeah, he's having a big lead already, a 2k lead. I don't see any way of the opponent coming back from this, unless maybe Ramn did a very big mistake and allowing the Goblins to get a lot of damage, or else it's not likely that he'll come back from that. And it's gonna play a Tesla for the Goblin Drill, and then Knight for the Valkyrie as well as the Bomber. As you can see, it's just very easy to defend against Goblin Drill. I mean those pushes, but still it's in single elixir. Things could get a little bit trickier in double elixir because the opponent could throw in the fireball in the mix, and yeah, we'll have to see. There's only 1 minute left, and okay, Ramn decides to play an offensive Xbow. Okay, I thought he was gonna go defensive like for the rest of the game. That's what I usually do when I'm playing Xbow against Real. The Xbow will lock onto the tower and probably finish off the tower. And now Tesla for the Drill, Skeletons to protect a little bit to buy some time for the Tesla, and that's just straight up rocket range on the right side tower. And yeah, there's only 40 seconds left. Ramn just goes in with defensive Xbow, and the opponent will try, obviously. He goes with the predict fireball like I mentioned, and yeah, lock for the Goblins. There's no way. 30 seconds left. He's up against Xbow, and the Xbow player has Bomber, Fire Spirits, lock, and yeah, pretty much everything you can ask for. So I'm just gonna speed it up for the last bit of the video, I mean of the replay. And yeah, very nice game against everyone's favorite deck, Goblin Drill Cycle. Okay, on to our second game, which is against Lciop, who is playing another variation of Goblin Drill Cycle, which is the more popular one in the current meta, I think, with the Magic Archer. And I think it's Ramn who first played the Magic Archer variation, and they got very popular now. And yeah, let's see how Ramn will do with this matchup. And he's gonna go in with Xbow because Lciop just played a Tesla in the middle, so there's really no way Lciop could do anything about this Xbow because the Tesla has been played, right? And yeah, the Xbow still has like half health, and I think Lciop just gave up. Or maybe not, he's gonna play Fire Spirits and log. But Xbow still got a lot of damage. 1.2k. And there's only 2 minutes left. And yeah, the it's gonna be very hard. I think Lciop is okay. It's not gonna give up yet. He's gonna do Valkyrie plus Tesla, but he has Bomber. I mean, Ramn has Bomber, and yeah, that's just straight up GG. So yeah, very nice game against a CRL, one of the CRL goats, which is Lciop, and yeah, let's move on. Okay, on to our next game against Marquinos, or maybe Marquinhos, I'm not too sure about that. He's playing Hawk Firecracker with not Rocket, but I mean not EQ, but Rocket. Yeah, that was what I was saying. He's playing the Rocket variation of the Hawk Firecracker. So yeah, let's see how the opponent will do with that. If it's EQ, I think Xbow player has a slight matchup, because they can just place Tesla like very high and then Rocket cycle the whole game. And this is what Ramn is doing. He's gonna cycle Rocket, so it'd be nice if Ramn has NATO now, but he doesn't. And yeah, the skeletons will get locked and allowing the Hawk to get 2 shots. So that was a nice exchange for Marquinos, not gonna lie. But it's still very early in the game. Anything could still happen, and I think Ramn doesn't know that Marquinos has Rocket, maybe. Sorry about that. It's gonna play Xbow plus Knight at the bridge, and Marquinos is gonna respond with a Hawk, and yeah, the Hawk will just finish off the Xbow, right? Yep. And yeah, the firecracker will get damaged by the bomb, so it doesn't have to respond to it. But yeah, it's gonna activate King with Fire Spirits, but Marquinos' Fire Spirits actually jumped onto the tower, I mean splashed the tower a little bit. And yeah, we're 20 seconds away to double elixir. Now it's gonna set up a Tesla. He probably knows that Marquinos doesn't have EQ anymore, so that Knight was to predict Skeletons plus Tesla by Marquinos, and now he's gonna go in with Xbow because Marquinos just used Rocket. Marquinos will try to do the same thing again, which is Hawk at the bridge for the Xbow, but I think Xbow will break through because there isn't much elixir in Marquinos' hand. Now he will probably Rocket, yes, because even if Marquinos decides to play Hawk, it can just play Tesla like very easily, because Marquinos doesn't have EQ, so yeah, Tesla for the Hawk is more than enough. And since Ramn activated King on the firecracker, it's gonna be one hell of an easy defense. And he's back to another Tesla for the Hawk, so yeah, he only needs 2 more rockets until tower goes bye bye. Marquinos will start the rocket cycle, but I don't think that is quick enough, because Ramn also has a cycle deck, obviously, and he's back to another Tesla. Even if Marquinos tries to play another Hawk, just get pulled, and a bomber to support as well, and he's back to another Rocket already. So yeah, it's probably gonna take the dub already. And yeah, that's a very nice game against Hawk Firecracker with Rocket. Okay, on to our next game against Golem. He's playing the Golem Night Witch with no big spell, 2 small spells actually. And as soon as the opponent plays a Golem, Ramn goes in with Xbow, because that's what Xbow players should do if they have Xbow in hand, obviously. And the question about this deck is, how do you defend against a Golem Night Witch push? This is what I'm most curious about. It's gonna play Tesla and then Knight, then Bomber to the side. The opponent is not arrowing. Okay, the opponent does arrow now, but yeah, the Knight and Tesla actually DPS down the Golem. He's probably gonna play a Tesla. Yeah, he had no choice, but yeah, Tesla will do just fine. But the opponent can just safely Golem at the back now. Overall, Ramn still has the damage lead. Somewhere between 1.4k. And now the opponent's gonna Golem at the bridge, and yeah, Ramn will just play Xbow. I mean, yeah, that wasn't the nicest play, I think, by the opponent. And yeah, Ramn could just very easily defend with Knight and Bomber and Xbow, because why not? And now the opponent still has to deal with the Knight though. It's gonna scare turns to distract Mega Minion. Now he's cycling stuff, and he goes in with Xbow because he knows that the opponent doesn't have the Golem and Cycle Bomber plus Lock. Unfortunately, won't stop Mini P.E.K.K.A from getting a hit to the Xbow. But yeah, the Xbow will still do enough damage, bringing it down to 7-13. And the opponent will just play a Golem at the back, but I think at this point of the game, it's really impossible to come back because yeah, Ramn could just cycle 2 Teslas and the opponent won't be able to break through because he doesn't have a big spell. So yeah, he's gonna rock onto Night Witch just to be safe. Probably gonna Fire Spirit as well, just to clean up the bats. Now lock onto the Mini P.E.K.K.A as well as the Bomber. Knight to tank for the Bomber, and yeah, there's really not much the opponent can do. Scare him to distract the Bomber a little bit, and now he's gonna play a second Tesla. This is what I was saying. Now arrows does come down for the Bomber, but he's back to another one already. He can just play a Lock and then Skeletons to distract. And there's 4 seconds left. He can play a Knight, and yeah, he can just safely Rocket now because I mean he's not gonna do it because the opponent played a Night Witch and he now cycles a Lock, and he just needs another Rocket to win the game, which he does it now. So yeah, a very nice game against Golem. Okay, on to our next game against Red Star Tor checkmark. Not too sure. Okay, I'm gonna call him Red. He plays Giant Graveyard with Fisherman. According to Ramn, I think this is a 60-40 matchup or maybe 70-30 matchup for Giant Graveyard players, because they have arrows and Giant to tank for the arrows for the Bomber and then Giant to tank for the Xbow. It's really hard to defend against Graveyard, so yeah. Now notice that he doesn't Rocket Cycle because I'm not too sure why, but yeah, he doesn't do it. Now he's gonna play Bomber for the Graveyard. Now Knight as well, and he's gonna cycle back to to a Lock just to be safe. So the Witch will splash onto the tower, unfortunately, and yeah, the Witch is getting a lot of damage though, bringing the tower down to 2, 6, 8, 9. But the opponent doesn't have much elixir, and the opponent missed the Xbow and allowing the Xbow to lock onto the tower. And now Ramn is gonna play Bomber as well as Fire Spirit to clean up the Scummy, and then Skeletons to distract the Fisherman. Okay, or rather it didn't. But yeah, just like that, the Xbow will actually get a lot of damage because he caught Red on the low elixir. So yeah, that was a nice play by Ramn. Now he just has to defend and maybe apply pressure a little bit on the opposite lane, I'm not too sure. And he can just Rocket Cycle. He only needs 2 Rockets and maybe a Lock to win. And he's probably gonna play. Okay, he's gonna play Xbow again because the opponent cycles a Giant at the back, forcing out a Witch, which is a not a play that the opponent wanted to do because he wants the Witch behind the Giant, obviously. Now he's gonna play Skeletons. Okay, he's not gonna play Skeletons for the Fisherman. I thought he was gonna predict it. Now Skeletons for the Fisherman to buy some time for the Knight. Lock onto the Skellies as well on off the Graveyard, and he's back to another Bomber. Okay, he's gonna go in with Xbow again. Same lane as the opponent though, I'm not too sure about that, but he's Ramn, obviously. He knows what he's doing, and yeah, the Knight will get pulled by the Fisherman, unfortunately. Lock comes down, and the opponent just played a Graveyard, so if the opponent decides to arrow onto Bomber, it's gonna be very hard for Ramn. But yeah, the arrow was a little bit late because the Graveyard is already over. And now he only needs 2 more. Okay, I wonder if he's gonna keep going in with XY. He's probably gonna defend now. Yes, he's gonna set up a Tesla and then probably Rocket onto a Witch just to be safe. Okay, unfortunately the opponent played the fisherman off to the side, so it didn't hit the fisherman, the rocket, and now the graveyard will get answered by the knight as well as the bomber. It will get some damage, but yeah, it shouldn't do enough. And now he's gonna go in with Xbow once again, and forcing out a giant from the opponent. The opponent panicked and then fireball onto the Xbow as well as the knight. He could have hit the bomber as well, but yeah, like I said, the opponent panicked. And now a very high Tesla played by Ramn. The opponent will try to overrun it with bats and Scammy, and now he's gonna play another Xbow, and yeah, the opponent just gave up because the opponent doesn't have elixir to play the giant. So yeah, bidding a hard matchup with Xbow Rocket. Yeah, I think he only played Rocket once on defense, so yeah, it was a pretty nice game. On to our next game against Hunter, who is playing Icebow. Alright, he's playing Icebow, and we're using the newer version of Xbow Rocket Cycle, which has the bomber and the fire spirit, so it's like old versus new. Who will win? Yeah! The opponent will play a knight for the fire spirit, and Ramn just goes straight in with Xbow opposite lane. The opponent's quick with his hand though. He's gonna play skeletons and then rocket, and a lock comes down for the bomber, but yeah, it's still a very solid trade because Ramn got a fire spirit damage on the left side. And now both players are just chilling. I'm not too sure though who has the quicker cycle. I didn't check, but I think it's Ramn because he has skeletons and fire spirit. So now he's gonna play skeletons onto the ice wizard, adjust the cycle, and then he plays a knight. Is the opponent gonna go in with Tesla at the bridge though? Okay, yes he does. And yeah, Ramn will just pressure opposite lane with Xbow, or else the opponent will just go in with Xbow of their own, forcing out a rocket, and then fire spirit is played, which will get answered by the skeletons. And now it's gonna cycle a little bit. It's probably rocket and then rocket and then bomber. Okay. Ramn still has the lead though. So in triple elixir time, I think both players will start rocket cycling because and the one who has the damage lead will eventually win the game. Usually, but you don't rule out any possibilities. Maybe Hunter outplayed Ramn. I don't know. Now the skeletons will distract the Tesla a little bit more. Lock comes down for the ice wizard, and yeah, it's gonna play a knight. I think Ramn will just let it go and then plays another Xbow. A rocket comes down for the Xbow and hitting the bomber as well. So yeah, that was a nice trade by Hunter, not gonna lie. But Ramn still has the damage lead. If Hunter doesn't get enough spell damage or maybe an Xbow lock on the tower, he's gonna lose eventually to rocket cycle. And Ramn does have the quicker cycle, so yeah, he's gonna start tornado cycling. The Tesla at the bridge will support the Xbow obviously, but now the opponent will just play a rocket, but I think the Xbow will lock onto the tower for a little bit, which is very vital for Xbow mirror matchup, because yeah, any damage just matters like a lot. Like if you played Xbow before, you understand what I'm saying. Any damage in mirror matchup is just a lot. And now the opponent is trying their best to defend against Ramn's Xbow, and he's back to a knight, but he's down a lot of elixir. If he wants to, he can just go in with rocket, but yeah, the opponent just, I think, gave up. Ooh, that Tesla was pretty smart, not gonna lie, by the opponent. And but yeah, there's there's very little the opponent can do, or else if Ramn messes up like big time, he's not gonna win this game. The opponent is. Now he's gonna play bomber onto the knight. The opponent start rocket cycling now, and Ramn just does the same. And this is the only way. the opponent could look for some advantage because you can go in with Xbow. Now Ram's gonna set up his own defensive X when Skeletons do distract the Xbow and probably Knight to buy some time, allowing the defensive Xbow to take down the offensive one. And yeah, Ramn is on the spell cycle range now, it can just rocket and then log. Yeah, Hunter just gave up. So yeah, a very nice game against Icebow. Yeah, it's pretty boring because it's Xbow against Xbow, but this is how the matchup is. So yeah. So I want to thank Ramn for coming onto the channel. Man, he shared some very awesome top ladder Xbow replays. It's Xbow, yeah. Everyone likes Xbow. It's very high skill, and yeah, I just want to thank him, and don't forget to follow him on Twitter. His link will be in the description, and don't forget to check out my other videos, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe and like so you don't miss out any future videos. And I will see you in the next one. See ya.